Grace We Live. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Ryan.
And this is our first episode.
Wah, 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 wah.
So yeah, this is our first episode. If you've made it to this point, thanks. Thanks for stopping by for a visit.
Yeah. All our friends and family.
Yep.
Because that's all who's going to listen to this.
For right now, at least. But anyway, we thought we would kind of do like a little bit of an introductory episode and just give some insight into why we wanted to start a podcast, the meaning behind the name, give you guys a little insider's look to who we are, and hopefully make you feel like you want to stick around.
Yep.
I don't know. So where should we start?
Well, we can start by explaining how we called it By Grace We Live.
Well, I think we should start by telling people who we are.
Well, that's probably a good thing, too.
Okay.
Who are you again?
I'm Sarah. You're Ryan. We're
Yep.
the Fords. We are married. That's how that works.
What?
Yeah. We're married. We've been married for 6 years. Is that right?
Wow.
6.5 years.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
You had to think that long?
We've been together for...
You're going to have to figure that one
I'm
out.
trying to do the math. I think 8. But anyway, so we've been married for 6 years. We have a son named Miles. He's a year and a half years old. He's a year and a half.
Yep.
I can talk, I promise. But he's the light of our lives. And then the other two creatures that we take care of are Ace and Riley. Those are our dogs. They are I call them our OG babies, which we do love them. But, you know, dogs are not as fun as our child.
Yeah. They're in the room with us, too, so they may make a guest appearance.
Yeah, and we apologize in advance for that. But yeah, I don't know.
That's us.
No.
All right, first episode down.
We need to tell people more about who you are. I got to keep them coming back for more, you know what I mean? So
I got to play mysterious.
No, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Ryan.
We've already been there. We've already accomplished that.
Starting with the basics.
No, acknowledged that.
I am a software developer, so I do computer stuff for work.
Yep.
Sarah loves hearing about it.
I actually do try to hear. I always ask you what kind of projects you're working on. I just don't understand what you're talking about, but I try.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's kind of hard to explain when you don't know what it is. I mean, you know, it's a lot of deep. I mean, I went to school for 4 years.
Yeah, to learn it.
Yeah.
And I can turn on my computer.
That's true.
That's it.
Yep.
That's about as far as I can go.
Let's see. What else about Ryan? I play on the worship team at our church with Sarah, and I play guitar. So that's cool. And then I'm a huge nerd.
Yep. I mean, how did you wait this long?
I'm just trying to build anticipation. I don't know. I really like Star Trek, Star Wars, Stargate, pretty much anything that has a star in the title.
Yeah.
That's all cool. Comics. We're currently sitting in a room that looks like a kid's room, but it's my office work play area.
It's filled with Funko Pops, comic books, a big Flash fat head on the wall. It's actually our son's favorite room that he's not really allowed to play in, which is super
That's
sad.
not entirely true. I let him play with things.
Yeah, but
I just
that
keep
you don't
an eye
care
on
if
him.
it gets broken. But there are certain things in here that he's not allowed to touch.
Well, there are some things that are just a little more valuable that would be unfortunate. But yeah, that's me.
In a nutshell.
In a nutshell.
I mean, there's way more to who you are, but yeah, okay. So,
do you have anything to add?
I think you're hilarious, but most people don't get to see that side of you. You're an introvert. That's important to note. you don't like people. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
It's not that I don't like people. It's just I don't like very many people.
At the same time.
Yes.
And yeah, in the same room. You love food. I think we're both like foodie kind of people.
Yeah.
We bond over food a lot.
Yeah.
You're very skilled and can pick up skills easily. So I don't know what you call that. But I mean, you said you played the guitar, but you also know how to play bass. You're trying to learn drums. You do sing, just not, people have never heard you. I don't know. I just feel like anything you try to learn, you can. And it's kind of annoying.
I don't know about that.
But you're my favorite person in the world. So
Aww.
I know. Let's get real cheesy. My turn?
Yep, your turn.
I'm Sarah. I'm the complete
Hi,
opposite of everything about Ryan. No, just kidding. So I actually am an introvert. I'm not an introvert. I'm lying. Well, that's
you
not true.
took that test and you were like
I'm on the cusp.
You were just over into extrovert.
Yeah. So in college, when I took Myers-Briggs, which I know some people don't enjoy personality tests, but I think
I'm one of those people.
Yeah. I think they can be helpful tools, but I scored like a 52% extroverted, 48% introvert or something like that. So I'm like right over the edge, but I do love people and I find a lot of joy being around people. But I also value like my alone time and I'm not as much of a homebody as you, but I think I've kind of turned into a homebody more because of you.
Just because of me?
Yeah.
You don't think that just happened naturally?
No.
Oh.
It didn't. It's because of you. Anywho.
You're getting some of my best qualities.
I guess so. I am a stay-at-home mom, which I love, but I do also work part-time as a stylist for a personal styling service, which is also super fun because I love clothes. I know.
That's news to me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, love clothes. Love trying to stay up with like current trends, but also just finding like a comfortable style for yourself. Anyway, that's not what this is about. I don't know, but in my free time you can find me napping, which I don't get to do as much now that we have a son, but Sunday naps are usually when I can get a good Sunday nap in, and those hit differently. I don't know, those are just the best.
Nothing like a Sunday nap.
Nothing like a Sunday nap. I really enjoy cooking. And I've actually started to really enjoy working in the garden, which is not something I ever thought I would say. My mom, growing up, she did a wonderful job taking care of like our yard and loved flowers and would beg me to come outside and help her. And I refused. And here I am in my late 20s. And I like trying to make our home look nice with flowers and the yard and I'm trying to learn how to grow like cut flowers, but as I'm talking about this I realize some of my main interests just like basically have to do with housekeeping or making our home function. So
those are good things.
They are, but I should probably find hobbies outside of that.
Well, you do.
Yeah. So I like crime podcasts.
Murder.
And murder mysteries. I know. I'm not a total weirdo, but those do interest me. Probably because my background, like in school, was psychology. And I like binge watching The Office and, I don't know, getting coffee with friends. I'm not like cool. Like I don't have like I don't
We're sitting in our room with a bunch of flash things hanging on the wall and
I know, but like I don't
superheroes.
I just don't have any like cool interests or hobbies or, you know, some people are
you
like
sing.
Yeah, I like to sing.
That's cool.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so wouldn't you like to be friends with us? Anyway, that's who
We're
we
really
are.
selling this podcast.
I know. That's who we are. And do you want to go ahead and tell them, how did we come up with the name By Grace We Live?
Yeah, sure. So when we first were starting to think about doing a podcast, the first thing I tried to figure out was what we would call it. 'Cause like
That's a good
well,
starting
it's a good place
point.
to start. And I couldn't really, it's hard to think about it when I don't have something to call it. And so I feel like once I can name something, then I can think about it more and actually work from there. So like I was just kind of stuck on that for a while. And I had a lot of dumb names that I thought of.
You never shared any other names with me.
Yeah, I don't really remember many of them. I think I wrote some of them down, but I don't.
You're not going to share them with me even now, huh?
Well, I don't have them with me. I don't really remember. I honestly really don't remember.
Okay.
Some of the
That's fine. Leave
dumb
them in
names.
the past. No worries.
Yeah. All that matters is that we landed on a good one.
I think so.
Yeah. So, anyways, but then, so one day I was reading on a break at work a book of poetry by Wendell Berry called Leavings. And from his 2005 Sabbath poems, there's a poem titled 17. I think it's 17.
It's a Roman numeral.
It was a Roman numeral.
Think it's 17.
Well, I know. I'm pretty sure it's
XVII,
right? Yeah, that's 17. So, he didn't title them with titles. He just titled all of his Sabbath poems with Roman numerals. Anyways, that's beside the point. In that poem, there was a line, "By grace we live," and as soon as I read that, I was like, "That's it. That's got to be the name of our podcast." Mm-hmm. Because I loved the idea and all that kind of that phrase encompasses, because well, I kind of paired it with this verse from Ephesians 2. It's Ephesians 2, 4-5. But God is so rich in mercy, and he loved us so much that even though we were dead because of our sins, he gave us life when he raised Christ from the dead. It is only by God's grace that you have been saved.
I guess we should have said in the beginning too, we love Jesus.
Oh yeah, we do. That's part of us.
If you found us, you've probably already realized that, is my guess. But yeah, it's a big part of who we are.
I mean, it's probably not lost on most people, I would guess. However they found it. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
And our little logo has a cross in it. So
yeah.
Anyways, we love Jesus.
He's our homeboy. I'm just kidding. I'm just
okay. I'm starting to rethink this. But yeah, so I paired that phrase, "by grace we live," with that verse, and that's kind of how I just thought about it. And it kind of took on a double meaning for me, which is by grace we live, in that because of God's grace and mercy, that he sent his son to die for us, to take away the guilt and the sin and the shame that we so often find ourselves in. We can live life to the fullest because of God's grace and love. So that was one thing. But then the other side of it was that's how also I want to live, is not only in that grace, knowing that I am loved and that there's nothing I can do to buy or earn God's grace. It is freely given, but also to freely give it and to just be a gracious person, and spread God's grace in my daily life as well. So it's kind of that twofold meaning that it took on. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so it came from that poem from Wendell Berry.
Yeah.
And it as soon as I read it, I was like, that's it. And I was about to be real bummed when I shared it with Sarah, and she was like, if she were to have hated it. Yeah. So, no.
Well, it's funny because, I don't know, a couple months ago was throwing out the idea that I thought it'd be fun for us to do a podcast together, for a number of different reasons, which we'll kind of get into, like why we really wanted to start this. But the one day when you texted me and you're like, what do you think of the name By Grace We Live for a podcast? And I was like, oh, whose podcast? And you were like, ours. And I was like, wait a second, what? I was really shocked that you wanted to actually start this because, spoiler alert, you're an introvert, like we just talked about, and you have to talk when you're on a podcast. And I think I said that to you. Like,
yep.
You know, you're going to have
I
to
remember
talk,
that sarcastic question.
But I'm actually really excited because, like, I learn a lot from you. You're such a deep thinker, and I feel like you are very wise and thoughtful in just how you live and your intentionality. And not a lot of people get to see that side of you. Especially like in large group settings. So, world, get ready to fall in love with Ryan Ford.
Oh boy, that's a lot of pressure.
I know.
I don't want the world to fall in love with me.
Oh well, yeah, it's okay. But yeah, when you mentioned that name to me, I felt the same way. I was like, yeah. Not knowing we were doing a podcast, I was like, that'd be a great name for a podcast. Because truthfully, I feel like in the last, 3 to 4 years, maybe, I've actually like accepted the fact that God's grace is a gift to us. I mean, literally in Ephesians 2:8, right after that small passage you just read, it says, for it is by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not from yourselves, it is the gift of God. And for much of my life, I feel like I haven't accepted that gift. I've always kind of lived like I have to do X, Y, and Z in order for God to love me, and in order for me to be saved, and in order for me to have like right standing with him. And it really made my relationship feel like this transactional thing with God, not like a true, genuine like relationship with him, but more of like, I'm going to do this so that you do that, or I'm going to do this so that like I'm good or whatever. Mm-hmm. But in the last couple of years, I feel like he's really revealed to me, no, that's not what I like. This is not why I sent my son. I didn't send my son so that you could just like have an okay life, be good, whatever. And like, be, free from pain and devastation or whatever. I sent my son because I want a relationship with you, and it is by my grace that you can have access to that. And so I feel like I've really started to really fully live in that and allowed it to impact not just my relationship with God, but my relationship with myself and with others. And so I just thought it was super fitting. I really liked it. But yeah. Do you want to share why you wanted to start a podcast? Like what went through your mind when I said it'd be really fun for us to start a podcast together?
Well, I guess the first thing I thought of was,
no, I have to talk.
Well, no. Yeah. No, I thought like that would be fun because I love listening to podcasts, and I like doing creative things. So it was more of just a like, well, what is it going to look like? Yeah. What are we going to do? And then there's always the like, the doubt and the like beating myself up of like, wow, it's not going to go anywhere. Or you're not going to actually see it through, or no one's going to listen, which maybe no one will, but that's probably okay.
It just means we get to spend more quality time together, sitting to each other, right. Talking in a room. So
exactly,
that's a win, right. With our dogs.
With recorded conversations that we can listen to later.
Yeah.
No, I think, but that was part of it too, was that like, whenever we can find things to do together, I think that's makes things more fun. I
am the best part of your day.
Yep. Yes, you are.
I put those words in your mouth. I don't know if you feel like that.
Yeah, I do. I mean, Miles is close.
I know.
You guys are probably equal.
Yeah, but he's pretty great.
He's all right. But yeah, so I thought that was really, I think, one of the things that made me really want to do it, was just because it was something creative that we could do together, and that it would be fun. And because it's mic'd and recorded, she can't yell at me. So I felt like,
Don't just you wait.
I'm just kidding.
Don't be too sure of that.
But no, yeah, I think I pretty much summed it up, I guess.
Yeah. I'm your favorite person. You thought it'd be fun to do something with me.
Yeah, sure.
And there's nothing else in the world that you like more than talking. So
yeah. Well, I don't mind talking with people.
Yeah. Just not everyone.
Just not everyone.
Okay, anyway, I'm going to stop with that joke because I feel like to this point I've killed it. But yeah, I think for me, it's a combination of those things. And also, I feel like God has kind of had both of us on a journey the last couple of years to learn more about ourselves, like emotionally and mentally and spiritually. And I think we've become like better communicators with each other. We've really deepened in our faith. And I know I've learned a lot from others in my walk with the Lord. And so I just thought it'd be cool if we could be a source of encouragement to other people and share what the Lord is doing and the ways that we see that he is faithful and how he's growing us and stretching us, and having fun along the way. It's actually really funny though too, because I think a couple months ago you were even sharing like just that you were kind of longing for something to do with your time that was more creative and using some of your like gifts and talents in a different way. And I remember one day I was praying for that. Like I was asking the Lord to like show you what that would be, to open a door if that's what needed to happen. And I remember asking him the question, is this something that he should do by himself or is it something that we could do together? And I never actually thought that like there would be an answer to that. I just kind of wrote it down in my journal. But then when this idea of starting a podcast together came up, I was like, well, maybe this is like one of the ways that God's opening the door of like, here, use what you're learning, use your gifts and talents, and I don't know, be a blessing to other people. That sounded really like egotistical. We're a blessing to you all. But no, I don't know. I just really want us to be like, I want this to be a space for people to like come and enjoy and learn and laugh. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, God to be glorified in it. So
yeah. Hopefully somewhat cool. Entertaining.
Somewhat. Yeah. So now is the time in our podcast where I'm going to start telling a bunch of knock jokes. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that. But I do have one question for you.
Uh-oh.
What is one hope that you have for this podcast?
Well, I hope that we record more than this one episode. No.
We make it past episode 1. That's a good hope.
No, I hope that we have fun and that it's something that can bring us closer together, that we can learn from each other, and just hopefully put a little light into the world. I think I heard somebody say that one time. It's like, I hope I just want to be able to put a little light in the world.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was that exact phrasing. I feel like I've heard that on a podcast before.
Yeah.
So.
I agree.
But like, you know.
The world can be a pretty crappy place.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to like kind of allow yourself to just always think that that's the world, but
to live in the dark.
Yeah. But I think especially as Jesus followers, like we're supposed to go and light it up. Light it up. Okay. Just kidding.
Oh man.
That's I don't even know what song that is.
That's a oh crap, what's the name of the band?
It goes, light it up, I'm on fire.
Yeah, I know. It's like some old band that was a thing when we were in like middle school and high school, and then they weren't. Anyways.
So yeah, being a source of light in the world.
Was it Fall Out Boy? I think that might be.
No.
Yeah.
It's not Fall Out Boy.
I'm going to look it up.
Okay. Well, anyway, I agree with everything that you said. And I think I kind of already said this. I've learned from other people and other podcasts and just good ways to be reflecting on my life.
It is Fall Out Boy. I was right.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
What's the song called?
My Songs Know What You Did in the Dark.
Oh, Yeah, that's it.
Or
You're
wait,
right.
maybe it's called Light 'Em Up. Well, I don't know. It's either called Light 'Em Up or My Songs Know What You Did in the Dark.
Okay. Well, that's the theme song for our life. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, anyway, I agree with everything that you said. And I think I've already kind of said this, but I have learned from others like how to be intentional about being reflective of my life, my relationships, my walk with the Lord. And it's helped me become, I think, a more well-rounded person. And if we can be that for other people, I think that'd be soups cool. Just share our journey together and what the Lord's doing. And like you said, light 'em up.
Wow.
You didn't say that. I said that.
Yeah.
But that's okay. It wouldn't be the first time I put words into your mouth.
Nope.
But that's
Even
actually
on this
that's a sore
podcast.
spot for us. But that's an episode for later down the road.
Yeah.
Just kidding. But if you aren't already, make sure you're following us on Instagram at By Grace We Live Pod. Give us a like, a follow, subscribe, Apple, Google, Spotify. We're also on Amazon Music, but I don't think anyone listens to podcasts on Amazon Music.
Yeah, it's a newer. They haven't been doing that for very long, so.
Yeah. Any other final thoughts?
I think that's it. I don't think I have any more thoughts.
Okay. Next week, I promise you, Ryan will have much more to say.
I feel like I said a decent amount.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
I do too. I'm just yanking your chain.
Okay.
Okay. Anywho, what a great note to end on. We hope you guys have a good week, and we'll see you next time.
See you later.
Alligator.
In a while.
Okay. Crocodile.
Bye.
Bye-bye.